Right, we're up on the roof of the van today. Got the top box off. Don't ask me how. This is my neighbours, say hello to the neighbours. And we're doing a polish, spring clean polish of the high top roof, which, as any of you know who have one, is a big job, one that can't really be done by hand, and you get all manner of nasty oxidation and wear and tear. I decided this year needs polishing out with a machine polisher. I've got this new Meguirs DA Power System, you can see that, and I'm just giving it a go and actually got some pretty good results. I don't know if you can see the reflection there, but I'm going to take you through step by step how to get a really good shine on your GRP high top. Okay, so the first step obviously is a good clean, a good wash. There's no avoiding it, unfortunately. Try and get as much of that grime off as you can with a scouring sponge. Don't worry about scratching the surface, because actually we're going to apply rubbing compound, which will do pretty much the same anyway, and get this oxidation back until we've got this nice finish that you can see just here. Okay, so that's the first step done. A good clean of the high top. I'll probably do the skylights as well at some point. But the first step next is to get some rubbing compound on. So this system, pretty clever, just locks on, means you can take the sponge off and go and wash it between rounds of cleaning. And then you can get your rubbing compound. I'm using G6. Which isn't quite as strong as the G10, but will probably do a good enough job for our purpose. And you just put a little dollop onto the pad. You'll get used to how much, and then we start to rub it in. So you get a feel for this pretty quickly. Get a nice rhythm going. Quite slow revs. Just work it in until you can see those oxidation marks coming up. Well, that's come up pretty well already, and I've found that I've had to give it a good polish off with a rag to actually get the oxidation off. And to be honest, there are parts where the oxidation's not really come off as well as I was hoping. Now, I suppose in theory I could go back and use a stronger rubbing compound and a more aggressive pad, but I'm not going to bother in this instance. I'm just going to get the next coat on, and we'll go from there. Should be enough for this year anyway. So the next coat in my magic pile of stash of bottles is this Farcela Gel Coat Restorer, which is the same as the rubbing compound, same brand. And after that, there's two more coats. One is the super resin polish, which will go well over the gel coat, and then Autoglym do suggest an extra gloss protection, which I just fancy, so I don't have to worry for the rest of the year. So the same process: apply a little bit to your sponge, work it in, and polish off between coats, and we'll see what the finished product looks like. Just one other point. You may think that you're doing a bad job while you're polishing, because actually the surface that comes up is pretty matte. I don't know whether you can see that, but all you've got to do is give it a polish, wipe the residue off, and you get an amazing shine. And this is only from the rubbing layer, so each layer comes up a real treat with the polisher. Recommended. Well, there we go, finished the job. Did take a while, and I had to do quite a bit by hand, but the results are brilliant, and hopefully will last for the rest of the season. Very hard to see, I'm sure, on a screen on my camera's phone, but there's a really nice gloss finish to that now, and it's got the gel coat protection on, which is kind of the critical bit. So yeah, hopefully not the job to be repeated more than once a season. Cheers. Just a quick reminder of the products used. This was the rubbing compound that we got the oxidation off as much as possible beforehand. And then there's the Gel Coat Restorer, so that replaces the waterproof seal on the high top after you've stripped it back. Super resin polish, there's a really nice shine on top of the gel coat, and then recommended by Autoglym, of course, the extra gloss protection, which really buffs up nicely. And all applied with the Meguirs DA polishing system, which I think is pretty good.